to be able to pick for him, especially when Geek Fam really wants to rely on him, want to play a gold, or rather more gold-centric, type of composition. They pick that Claude, but then again, it's banned by Dewa. Meanwhile, for Geek, they take off 2 support heroes in that ban section.
Yeah, I'm expecting Nolan to be the last ban, and it will come through from the side of Geek. Now, the big question, Dewa, what hero will they prioritize, right? Fredrin has been prioritized. Matilda will not be prioritized as it was banned. So what is open here? Arlet? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, I think Arlet has
more value.
More value for Dewa. They are utilizing Kimura, by the way, something we did not note earlier in the XP over Dixon. He was able to outplay Aura, I believe, like crazy on that Arlet. So giving him a comfort pick, the Arlet will be pretty solid. But no, they're keeping it simple. They're following the keys of victory. Fredrin following the recent
buffs.
Not buffs, but the recent rise in popularity.
The trend.
Indeed, Fredrin has been the go-to junglers, especially in the tank department. But I think for Dewa, they have a lot of strong individuals that you could rely upon. I mean, Drian has been that playmaking roam. Kimura, if you let him alone on his own devices, he can do his own thing. Split push, side lanes is always going to be his playground. And what? The consistent gold lane that he could always rely upon. But Geek Fam are no less without the players. I mean, they have a boy, especially rising up to the top. They pick the Arl and the Vixana, that the Minotaur will be given to Brian.
Yeah, it seems like the Minotaur will be a deny pick as well, all right? You do not want to have an opponent that has Vixana and Minotaur, so that was a good denial. And with that, the Valentina picked up. Good to steal the Final Slash, good to steal the Eternal Guard.
They have a lot of counter engages in the side of Dewa. You have the Minotaur jump. You can also steal the guard or the slash. But the Barat's pickup will be in the hands of Hazel. He does love, this utility junglers that can always contest the objectives and get him in a favorable retribution contest.
And hey, we got a comment from the guy who picked up the Barats here, Hazel, earlier. Confident enough to be Rookie of the Week. I think we're both pretty good. I think he's referring to Gugun, but I think I'm even better. So far in the Red Tree battles, we have seen him pull off some impressive wins against Taz.
Sure.
So we will see if you are indeed better. Hazel definitely has the chance to pick up the Rookie of the Week over Gugun if he's able to have a strong showing here. Export banned out by Coach Bluffsy for Geek. Knowing that they are a very tanky lineup, doesn't want to give any shred over to Dewa. But interestingly enough, both gold laners seem very, very comfortable here going into the second phase without revealing their picks. Maybe it's a hero pool off, but it doesn't seem like they're even going to target the gold laners. More prio on the XP. CC, X-Borg, so much respect for Kimura and for Luke.
The gold laners are just going to chill, I think, in this match. It's a matter of, playing for the late game if needs be, especially when you get the gold lane. I mean, it's still open, you have the Bruno, you have the Brody as well. The carry will get banned out. I mean, it's a good ban to disable Watt and this type of hero that could really carry and that has that ability to move around the map. And now Dewa with the last ban, you can also target a gold laner here to disable Chidera even more.
I'm guessing this Geek Fam, can they pull off a Herod here with this composition? Geek Fam.
Technically, they have 2 physical damage dealers, the Arlet and the Barat. I don't know if that's enough. The Arlet will most probably be a tanky Arlet. He'll have like 1 damage item, Fury Hammer. That's the Bruno ban. I don't think the Herith could come out for Geek Fam.
First, then.
They'll go for the Brody. With the Bruno banned out, with the Claude banned out, and the carry, the Brody makes its way into the land of Dawn. Dewa, heroes, up for grabs. Natan comes up to mind, but same problem for them. Not a lot of physical damage dealers unless they want to pick up a Benedetta or a Paquito. That can certainly still work in their composition. I think the Benedetta will have a lot of value here against the Arlet, the Eye for an Eye, against the Eternal Guard, and against the Brody. Someone with no possibility of going for Purify. That Petrify combo with the Benedetta could definitely prove to be a big problem for Geek Fam.
Split push XP would be very nice, especially the pack Kiro that Benedetta could really just have that side lanes going, have that dive as well to the back line, catching Chidera later on in the Brody. For Dewa, they will pick up the Natan and the Lapu Lapu. They have enough peel to pull this off, but the Lapu Lapu I think serves as a physical damage that is, I think it's adequate enough for Dewa United.
Depends on the build. If you go for the full, was it Luke build yesterday? Yeah, the full Luke builds. Hunter Strike War Axe, Melfic Roar yesterday. And yes, the damage is more than, oh, it's Pi, sorry, not Luke, but it was the game against Luke. The Pi build, then yes, it is very adequate, that damage. The Grok as well though for Baloyski. That means the Arlet will be going to the XP for Luke. First time for Luke. First time that we don't see the Arlet on Baloy.
Usually it's Baloy holding hands with that Arlet. But Luke is not shy of the playmaking XP heroes. I mean, he has been playing a very efficient Lapu Lapu game mostly. But given an Arlet, the burden of catching the players with the final slash will be carried by him. And I think he has to be ready for that. Now take a look at the counter or the draft index.
Geek Fam definitely have the better lineup. I have to agree with the draft index here. They have such a solid snowball composition. So for Dewa, it's all about derailing that snowball, that train before it even gets the steam.
Will the steam keep on rolling, or will Dewa United be able to clinch a victory in the first encounter of the gods versus the man? It's going to be Geek Fam against Dewa United in our last match of today.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. We are going to perhaps the first time ever from Friday to Sunday. We got a full best of 3, folks. Hopefully this last match go to the full best of 3 series.
It could. We could really go the extra mile, especially if that's what Gani wishes. I wish that as well. I think it will be very nice to see these two teams go toe-to-toe in this game, and that could possibly go well because both the teams, they have strong individuals, but so far it's gonna be an equal fight for Luke and Kimura.
Oh, this might be a solo gear here, top side, but no, they will not commit to a kill just yet, even holding on towards their spells.
No aggression, not more aggression there. Gary concussive blast actually. Hazel doing the same thing. Baloy with the Brave Smite. So emblem wise, not really anything too crazy. Gary actually went for the firmness. Hazel went for a bit more attack speed here in the build, which is very, very interesting. K's, wow, Boy and Baloy both went for Wilderness Blessing and Agility. So they're going to have to utilize this move maneuverability, the better mobility around the map. Meanwhile for Drian, he went for full tankiness on the Minotaur, a firmness and the tenacity, and cooldown on K's, not the agility. Geek Fam will be able to rotate across the map a lot faster. Let's see what they do with it. They should be able to get a lead early on. That's also what they're looking for.
Should expect a lot of rotations coming in from Boy and Baloyski as well, with the Wilderness Blessing. Enables them to move quite quick on the river side. So far, Dewa tries to really defend this top side turret. K's already shadowing for Kimura though, so Geek just pull back as a turtle is ready for the taking. But Gary is just alone, he needs backup. And Baloyski is just becoming this, roamer that's so oppressive, trying to push away the players of Dewa United. But this is going to be one of the most important fights in the early game.
He will low-key recon the side, right? Scout, providing the visions for his team. But it seems like now both junglers, they're on the turtle. And they do not want to commit on towards a fast-paced fight just yet. Baloyski, though, has a watch charge flicker as well now. Combined with the Eternal Guard, it'll help for Rats to get the turtle. But what cost? The collapse from Dewa United claims 4 members in the turtle pit.
What a combo! My goodness, bottom lane, 1v1!
Twin-Apart Memory will secure the kill! And Chedera. I thought that they would not commit more, But I was wrong, and Drian now jumps in looking to avenge his teammate, but no, Chidera has the flicker to get out.
So many things happening. Hazel again proving himself with the Retribution fight. He's able to win that turtle contest, and Chidera thankfully is able to pick up a kill. So rather than go home empty-handed, they get one kill, but then again, Dewa is going to not stop with a snowball.
Oh God, boy, low HP, Eternal Guard will buy time, but Dewa Kimura with the bravest fighter will not be able to close the gap to find that kill.
Not enough gap closure there. Holy moly, man, I'm just still stuck on that turtle fight. What an amazing combo for Dewa. Everyone was in the turtle pit and they fought. Gary's Appraiser's Wrath was absolutely massive, just like we saw in the Keys to Victory. That's what they needed, these massive fights with their solid drafts. But GeekFam were still able, somehow, someway, to find the retry win. Hazel proving that his retry is super on point. And even Chidera getting a win, making the gold lead not as crazy for Dewa. Beloyski, oh, the pathing.
The taunt here, Beloyski tunked to a very low HP wild charge to save his life. But take a look at Drian, slowing him down and taking the kill.
Big brain Beloy, but that was questionable. I mean, he is trying to be this pest, just trying to scamper around the jungle, trying to put so much pressure, but Kimura and Luke going at it. It's still going to be a 50-50 fight, but so far, Luke has the upper hand with the level lead. Now again, the turtle has been respawned. Luke is trying to rotate towards that bottom side. As you can imagine, Luke does not have the final slash, so they have to rely on either a boy or Hazel making the play.
Let's see, good Eternal Guard here. Oh, well, charge! On towards 3 as well! Oh, good wombo combo! That's 1, 2, 3 members taken out already. It's a 2-for-1. But the turtle will be taken by Dewa. Luke, very low K's now, diving under the turret, final slashed. But now Kimura will help and assist his teammate Luke. Not enough resources to get out, I believe, and he will be taken out as well.
Luke's rotation sends him to his demise. He did not have the slash to complement that fight. And GeekFam, they were left with an engage tool with that guard that they have to rely on that not really connect.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. They went for the same thing after losing out in the same fashion in that first turtle fight. And in the second one, they didn't even secure the turtle. Hazel actually kind of whiffed the Detonus welcome. Luckily, one thing did still stay the same. Chidera was able to get something on the other side of the map. This time, it is a turret take up top. He should be able to put this into good use with more map pressure, but they are falling quite behind with 8 kills already.
Purple buff invasion. Dewa United will claim that purple with that retry.
That purple is gonna be secured at least to add even more resources to the pockets. The players so far, and now what? Rotating up to the mid side of the lane. He needs to get ahead in terms of the farming department, of course. At least Dewa now snowballing. If they do fall, they have that extra layer of insurance in the hands of Watt, but he needs to be funneled these resources. But I mean, so far Dewa United has been self-sufficient. Their own laners able to really just fight up and walk up to the faces of GeekFam. They need an answer here. So what are the win conditions of GeekFam trying to claw back to this game?
Well, the win condition is snowball, so it still remains the same in the mid to, or actually the early to the mid game to get to that mid game. We'll talk about this more, but GeekFam want to fight.
Oh, let's see here. Already under the turret, Hazel claims the last hurdle. But now they are going for Luke. Final slash will not be anything to mount just yet. Take a look at the backside though. Rion will be the first one to fall as Luke now flickers out to safety.
What?
Gary with the Appraiser's Wrath securing the kill. It's a 1-for-1 in EXP for a roamer.
A jumbled fight. They were scattering in every part of that turtle pit. They were trying to kite back. They were trying to push each other in the faces, but then again, it all was still an equal trade, but at least Hazel was able to get the turtle.
GeekFam are doing really good despite losing 2 big team fights. Like, you would expect the game to be over usually after 8 kills. the same kind of fashion happen in the first 5 minutes of the game. But what GeekFam were able to do was, okay, they sent Chidera up top. They got, whoa. First item DHS? No, second item DHS. Fury Hammer into the Malefic Roar, into the DHS. Interesting build for Chidera. Going to try to melt these frontliners down. I think it's very good up against this composition. But back to the point, GeekFam, during the off moments when there are no neutral objectives, despite them being behind in gold for the most part in the last 8 minutes, they're the ones more active on the map. You see Chidera rotated up top to get a turret, these lane swaps, and then you see Luke going down, but then with the help of Hazel and a boy, Dewa haven't been too efficient with their maneuvers around the map, and that's why, despite the gold lead, despite the 9 kills, GeekFam have been the ones making the proactive movements around the map. This is,
Luke now with the dodge, with the juke as well. Final slash though will not connect on towards any members from Dewa. And that is going to be Dewa not wanting business. Remember, 15 seconds to the first Lord. What will Dewa do here? Sure, they have the economy, but it seems like GeekFam, they're comfortable with the space that they are able to get.
Yeah, this is just really good macro, is what I was about to say, with a boy and Beloy, who went for agility and wilderness blessing. That's what we mentioned early on, and that's what we're seeing from Beloy and a boy. Every time rotating towards any side of the map that they want to get objectives on. Tier 2 down below, that's going to be so much pressure for GeekFam to look for flanks. So what Luke was able to create earlier, that final slash onto 4, it's going to happen again. Look at the position.
See Luke showing himself conceal. Does not want to commit. No angles to commit, rather. And yeah, Geek, they're taking their time here. Far lane, I'm sure that they are also controlling that far lane, and Dewa, they need to find something in this current angle.
It's insane how they're able to really just battle down all the damages that has been done by Dewa. Sure, they are, 6 kills down, the gold lead not so marginal as well, but they're able to get 2 turrets bottom side. They're able to contest their hands on the Lord. They have 2 turtles, so I think, you can always, you can kind of neglect the kill difference because GeekFam is always on the move trying to hunt for something.
Oh, let's see here, wall charge committed from Beloy. Keys has a wall charge himself. And Luke now soaking damage, taking a lot of damage, looking for survival, but it seems like Drian will be the first one to fall. They want the collapse. Hazel now isolated in the front side, and the formation just shattered in shambles. They have the manpower now. Luke in the backside, Keys looking for a flank as well, looking for a burst, and Luke will be the second one to fall in the hands of Watt.
The gods crushed down GeekFam. They were looking for that possible comeback and angle to back then snowball again, but Dewa United just says, nope, we win this team fight, we win the skirmishes.
Okay, Kimura looking for an opening, stunned up, airborne, everything. Gary though secures the Lord. Oh, good Eternal Guard! Catching Beloyski in the bush and taken out.
Good response for Dewa through GeekFam's macro maneuvers. They had a slow push built up top before the Lord, but then they were impatient. They wanted to utilize the advantage ASAP. They looked for an initiation, did not work out, and they left Luke to die. Having to save him only gave Watt the time to rotate down below and punish GeekFam even more for that blunder. Now GeekFam are in a real rough spot. They were able to out-macro Dewa for the last 8 minutes despite losing out in these team fights, but now, as the gold lead grows and as a Lord spawns in the Land of Dawn, the macro is going to be a very hard game to play. They'll now have to look to minimize their losses because Dewa's siege is quite insane within the time. They have to respect this. They just have to play turret defense for a bit.
Feels like they overstayed their welcome as well on the bottom side. They were probably just going to try to poke out the Lord, or rather not force a team fight that was brought upon to them. They were ahead in terms of the turrets, in terms of the macro game. But look, Dewa United, they have all the map for themselves, able to just push forward territories off GeekFam, especially that Lord marching down bottom side, having to send Chidera and Hazel to clear that out. So now Dewa United, they have the priority in all 3 lanes, and this could really be a disastrous game for GeekFam after what looked like a slightly hopeful recovery that they were able to get.
It was a great recovery that GeekFam were able to get. Again, in the first 5 minutes, 8 kills to Dewa, and they were still only 700 gold ahead. That is a very, very good stat to have for GeekFam, and they actually had more map pressure, but now it's all gone. That map pressure that they built up to recover, Dewa has gotten so much more with that Lord because of a big blunder in the initiation department from GeekFam. Even Gary putting on the pace with the pressure that they have on the map. Right now, it's all about the freeze, and Dewa can play it as slow as they possibly can. GeekFam, this is why I say it's going to be very hard for them to play the macro game to recover again like they did in the first 5 minutes. At this point, they're really going to have to wait for the Lord to contest for it again. And Beloyski will have to look for a BBB, a big brain Beloy. BBBP, big brain Beloy play.
That's a BBB.
That's close to a BBBP. You know, it's not the big play that will change a game, but it starts somewhere.
It's a MBBB, mini big brain Beloy play, of course. But Gary, want to punish Beloyski for this, but Beloyski again, so disruptive. But it seems like he's trying to achieve something in which he's just trying to make space for his side laners or his laners to push out, especially for the pressure exerted towards GeekFam. It has been unbearable, but at least now they have some breathing space.
Note that Bees now has also the wild charge, right? So expect 2 lizards going headbutt, perhaps, potentially, in this Lord fight. Good setup here top side, though. Beloyski needs to be careful. He's all alone.
He has to, and he has to be present in these team fights. That wild charge could be very pivotal in trying to turn the tides around, especially now Hazel just has 2 laners and 2 of these players shadowing behind him. Meanwhile, Dewa, they come in the cavalry, they call it in, but Beloyski is just walking. So now, I think Dewa, or Geek rather, could turn it around in this Lord fight if they do either steal it or create a moment for themselves. A team fight could really ensue soon.
All 10 players have their spells. The calm before the storm here, ladies and gentlemen, and it seems like both teams, they will not pull the trigger yet.
Wow, great slow push again from GeekFam up top. So they still have the advantage now when it comes down to the wave manipulation. Doing the same thing towards the bottom lane. That's going to be a pretty stacked wave up top that Dewa will have to send someone to retaliate against.
They'll always have Kimura to answer that. But so far, I think, given the circumstances, GeekFam has been able to hold on in a quite reasonable fashion, but now here they come.
Oh, the flicker minion fury by Julian. The damage though will not come through as Watt finds Hazel to go to the backside though. It's the collapse by Dewa United. Case finds one. Watt with the double. Luke flickers out, but sometimes I think the gap will be closed down here. The damage will be enough as Watt collects the unstoppable. The unofficial triple kill, and they look for the end. Tadera all alone. Let's see. 15, another wave. Can Tadera clear this? 4 members.
Oh, no.
Is it a little bit too much as they move on towards Tadera? Not that he's just yet terrified. Everything Tadera is trying to hold on, but it will not be enough. Dewa United, they will strike first.
The gods hit first.